Hi, and welcome to this video about the Minimum Age Convention number 138, one of the two ILO fundamental conventions on child labor. Now, child labor has been at the heart of ILO concerns since its foundation in 1990. And while great progress has been achieved in eradicating child labor, it remains a persistent problem in the world today. Did you know that according to the latest estimates on child labor of 2020, 160 million children, that is to say 63 million girls and 97 million boys, were in child labor globally at the beginning of 2020, accounting for almost 1 in 10 of all children worldwide? Now, 79 million children, nearly half of all those in child labor, were in hazardous work that directly endangers their health, safety, and moral development. Global progress against child labor has stalled since 2016, and the COVID-19 crisis threatens to worsen the situation unless we take urgent policy action.
So what exactly is child labor? Not all work done by children should be classified as child labor. Children or adolescents' participation in work that doesn't affect their health, safety, and personal development or interfere with their schooling can be positive. Child labor is defined as work that deprives children of their childhood, their potential, and their dignity, and that is harmful to their physical and mental development. It refers to work that is mentally, physically, socially, or morally dangerous and harmful to children, and work that interferes with their schooling.
What approach does Convention 138 envisage? The aim of the convention is simple: the effective abolition of child labor. But child labor is a phenomenon that is caused by several factors: social, economic, cultural, and more. And it's important that action taken takes this reality into consideration to be truly effective. Convention 138 is a comprehensive instrument that highlights the need to properly regulate the minimum age at which children can be allowed to work and recognizes the importance of national policies to ensure the effective abolition of child labor. That is part of the reason why this convention is one of the ILO's most highly ratified instruments. And that is the reason why so many countries with diverse social and economic conditions have ratified the convention. This speaks not only to the universal values that it underpins, but to the flexibility built into it, which allows countries to adapt its content to meet their needs.
What do ILO member states have to do to combat child labor? In order to combat the underlying root causes of child labor, each ratifying country has to establish a national policy for the elimination of child labor. While the determination of such policies is left to countries, national policies must be elaborated in consultation with the employers and workers' organizations. The minimum age recommendation number 146, which accompanies Convention number 138, provide further guidance by stressing that national policies and plans should provide, for example, for poverty alleviation measures and the promotion of decent work for adults, so that parents do not need to resort to child labor, free and compulsory education and provision of vocational training, the extension of social security schemes, and more.
What does the convention require in terms of minimum age for admission to employment or work? Convention 138 requires countries to establish a minimum age for entry into work or employment, which is generally 15 years. Now, developing countries have the option of setting a minimum age of 14 as a transitional measure as they strengthen their education system and economies. This is one of the convention's many flexible provisions. The objective, however, is to progressively raise the minimum age to 15 or 16. Now, the convention also requires ratifying states to set another important age, that of compulsory education. It provides that this age of compulsory education should be aligned with the minimum age for admission to work. Now, it is a known fact that education is one of the best means of preventing child labor. It is important that children have at least basic education to be prepared for a productive and fulfilling work life. By linking the age for admission to employment or work to the age of completion of compulsory schooling, governments contribute to ensuring that children are not out of school before being legally allowed to enter the labor market. What's more, it encourages children to complete their education rather than leave school to work. Convention 138 also protects older children by setting the minimum age for hazardous work at 18. By hazardous work, we mean work which is likely to jeopardize children's health, safety, or morals. For example, children under 18 should not work in mines, as mining is hazardous by nature. Night work, which interferes with children's sleep and may make them more prone to suffer accidents on the job or expose them to dangerous circumstances on the way to and from their place of work, should also not be admissible to children under 18.
Convention 138 also contains what we call flexibility provisions in recognition of countries' varying levels of development. For example, we said that developing countries have the option of setting the minimum age for employment or work at 14. This is one of the Convention's flexible provisions, but there are others. For example, developing countries can also exclude some branches of economic activity, but not sectors such as mining, construction, and commercial agricultures. Convention 138 also allows countries to permit children from the age of 13 to perform light work. Light work is defined as work that does not interfere with children's schooling or their ability to benefit from it, and that is not harmful. If countries use this flexible provision, they have to develop a list of light work activities in their legislation. Moreover, the convention also allows children of at least 14 years of age to work in apprenticeships, and children below the minimum age can also participate in artistic performances if they have the authorization of the competent national authority.
In conclusion, child labor is a global phenomenon that each and every country must make the effort to combat. While progress has been made, we cannot be complacent. Child labor still widely exists today, and every new crisis creates a risk of more children working in conditions that threaten their health and development. Governments, workers, and employers should all work together to ensure the effective application of Convention number 138 to achieve its objective, the effective elimination of child labor everywhere.